Donald Trump wants you to think that we have already lost, that we have been defeated, that we cannot fight back against his authoritarian project, but that is simply not true. Every day, Donald Trump loses in court. He loses in the court of public opinion with his tanking approval rating, and we can win this fight, and we are going to on the issue of free speech, because after Donald Trump forced the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel last night, he was immediately hit back with a legal bombshell that is blowing up this attack on speech. We're going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into that legal bombshell and how this administration is panicking, I want to start with what I thought was a perfect response to Donald Trump's attack on free speech from J.B. Pritzker right here.
Joining me now is Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. This is, as I just said, this is much bigger than a media story. It feels to me, first of all, Brendan Carr went out today, the FCC chair, and basically called out Jimmy Kimmel by name. And then a couple of hours later, he was put on indefinite, hiatus, suspension, whatever you want to call it. Does this feel, it feels to me like obedience in advance. Does it feel to you like that?
It's intimidation, clearly. And this is what we're seeing across the board from the Trump administration. They're using the power of the government to go after businesses, to get them to do things that they need or want, right? Either to pay them, as we have seen, or to fire people, as we have seen. And here we have a comedian. I mean, this is somebody who's on every night, frankly, probably offending somebody every single night.
He may have made fun of you before.
Indeed, he has. And so I just want to say that, we should not be going after people for this. Look, did he get some things wrong? Yeah. I mean, but he is not a commentator, a news anchor. This is somebody who's a comedian, for goodness sakes. And now we've got the Trump administration literally targeting individuals. You saw it with Stephen Colbert. Now you're seeing it with Kimmel. Anybody that's criticizing this administration, they're using the power of government to intimidate companies to fire people.
Being a MAGA Republican is really all about embracing hypocrisy. If you can just embarrass yourself, debase yourself like J.D. Vance does every day, and give up on any values you purport to have, then it's really easy to be MAGA. These people don't care about speech. They've never cared about speech. We have to stop pretending like they are good faith actors. This is what we see with those, even on the left right now, lionizing Charlie Kirk. We see folks like Ezra Klein saying he did politics the right way and cared about free speech. That's just bullshit. Charlie Kirk was at college campuses to make a profit and to get his clips to go viral. Sure, he wanted to change people's minds with bigoted ideas and disgusting bile, but he didn't care about free speech. He didn't advocate for the freeing of Mahmoud Khalil, who Donald Trump has now ordered to be deported again for speaking out against a genocide that we are aiding in with our tax dollars. No, these people don't care, and it's why it is unsurprising Donald Trump had this reaction to Jimmy Kimmel.
Free speech. Your Vice President Vance said that free speech is under attack in the UK. Do you agree with him? And Prime Minister, we saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent. Yeah, please go ahead.
Of course, it's because of his ratings, the tanking ratings. The ratings are low. So you know what rating is really fucking low right now? Donald Trump's approval rating. That's what's tanking. That is what's in the shitter. It is not Jimmy Kimmel. This is so obvious. This administration could not care less about any of the ideas that they talked about as being fundamental on the campaign. The weaponization of government, that is all Donald Trump has done. The caring about the crisis of affordability affordability, inflation is skyrocketing because of idiotic tariffs that are effectively taxes on working people. And now they want to make Charlie Kirk, that disgusting bigot, some martyr so that they can carry out the rest of this project. No, we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to accept defeat. Maybe that's what ABC wants to do, and ahead of time concede and say, oh, the Trump administration is going to come after us. We might as well concede. But we're not going to do that. We're going to fight back. And so is Robert Garcia and Eric Swalwell with some legal bombshells for Trump. Ranking member Robert Garcia launches investigation after ABC fires Jimmy Kimmel. Network caves to political pressure from Trump administration. Rep. Robert Garcia, ranking member of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, released the following statement announcing he will be launching an investigation into the Trump administration, ABC, and St. Clair amid ongoing efforts to censor opposition to the president. Garcia said, every American has a duty to stand up for our First Amendment values. We will not be silent as our freedoms are threatened by corrupt schemes and threats. Anyone who is complicit will need to answer to us. And Eric Swalwell threatened a lawsuit with this clip right here.
So I want to make it clear, there's going to be a Democratic majority in just over a year. And to the FCC chairperson and anyone involved in these dirty deals, get a lawyer and save your records, because you're going to be in this room and you're going to be answering questions about the deals that you struck and who benefited and what the cost was to the American people because that happened. I want to now move.
This is what I am talking about. Stop bending the knee. Stop admitting defeat before we even have the fight. It is worth it to go out there and fight them on everything. I have felt like for so long, and I don't just want to make this a criticism of Democrats, because of course who we want to criticize right now is Donald Trump, but our party needs to get in line and start acting like they care. So often we see Democrats, and I talked about this with Wes Moore, see an issue that maybe we're not the most popular on and go, well, maybe we don't talk about that one. Maybe we shy away a little bit. It's bullshit. If you believe in your heart of hearts, if you are an elected official with policy that you think will make the world a better place, do not look at the polling. Do not look at the message testing. Go out there, deliver it, convince people. Your job is not to be a pawn for lobbyists and corporate money and AIPAC. It is to do the job of governing. And sometimes your positions may start as unpopular, work to make them popular. How far have we come on so many issues, even within the decade of Donald Trump attacking our rights, where we have shifted a public opinion in a way that is undeniable. Why? Because we've actually gone out there and talked about these issues. We have to do that. We have to have these conversations. We have to sue. We have to not write strongly worded letters, but call people in to be put under oath and have them try to squeam out of their crimes, because they can't, they will be caught, and they should be prosecuted under the next Democratic administration. That is what we should have. Reopen Alligator Alcatraz for Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem, and throw Pete Hegseth in there with a couple bottles of gin to keep him company. That is what we should be doing. We should make it very clear that we won't kowtow, we won't bow, we won't bend the knee, we won't say, well, I don't know, we can't take on every fight. There is so much saving of the ammunition. Right? We got to keep the powder dry. This isn't a political fight. Let's save up for the really good political fight. Every political fight should be had right now. This is an authoritarian. If you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. So stop giving him miles and then letting him take over the entire country. Fight back. Thank you, Robert Garcia. Thank you, Eric Swalwell. Thank you for making it clear that we should not bend on this. That we shouldn't say, well, that's Trump. That's what Trump's going to do. That's what the corporations are going to do. They're ultimately going to cave. They're ultimately going to bend the knee. Get fired up. Convince people of why this is so important. And the right had the majority of Americans believing that they cared more than we do about free speech. How is that playing out right now? Not very well. So you need to go out there and convince people. Don't worry about what the politics of any given issue are. Have some moral clarity on so many of these issues. Have we not seen the shift in how Americans view what is a genocide in Gaza? Have we not seen the huge swing in public opinion, where now, maybe in the next administration, we can get our government out of this war crime that is sending our tax dollars, sending weapons to be used to kill innocent children in Gaza? Yeah, maybe we can move this issue forward. Maybe we can change how things are done. And why? Because public opinion has shifted, because people have talked about this issue. They have had these heartbreaking images of children in Gaza in front of people's faces 24/7. That is how you change people's minds. You have to talk to them, and you cannot be afraid to fight back against this administration. You have to talk about this. J.B. Pritzker certainly did some more right here.
Everybody should be saying that ABC should reverse their decision. This is not something they should have been doing. I don't think that ABC, at least historically, has not been an organization that has exhibited this kind of behavior. But, now we're seeing the pressure that can be brought by the federal government. You can imagine the pressure that's on Disney and ABC and on their business based upon, what's been said so far today. And so I must say, I do not understand why people are not standing up and pushing back when they ought to. Because what's at stake here is free speech. It's our Constitution and our way of life. Do we really want the President of the United States intimidating people, organizations to get others fired? This is not that moment. People ought to be standing up and speaking out. What can they do? Well, it's what I've been saying for some time now, which is if we want to get action, we now can't rely upon a MAGA-controlled Congress. We can't rely on the President of the United States, seemingly, although we'll see whether we can rely on the Supreme Court of the United States. Increasingly, it doesn't appear that way. And so we only have one other thing to do, which is public action. People actually speaking up, speaking out, boycotting, showing up and protesting, and their representatives who agree with them doing the very same.
If you are a Democrat, now is the time to fight. Myself, other creators, other folks on YouTube are under attack just as much as you are. I don't know if Donald Trump can call up the CEO of YouTube or Google, who went to his little White House dinner, and say, hey, those Midas Touch guys, shut them down. That Brian Tyler Cohen guy, shut him down. Adam Mockler, shut him down. Jack Cocciarella, shut him down. We don't know. And then we don't know if they can decide, all right, we're silenced. Now how about they go after us? Now how about they prosecute us? We don't have a platform anymore to talk about how Donald Trump is going to try to do whatever he can, send his goons after us. So now, yeah, go after him. Let's quell speech. Let's intimidate people. Let's try to make an example out of people speaking out against this administration. We don't know if that's coming, but you can be rest assured that we don't give a fuck, that we're going to continue to call them out, that we're going to continue to fight. So if we're able to do that, we're our elected representatives. Please take up the fight. We need it now. In a moment in which they're so desperate to silence us, shouldn't you be as loud as possible? I certainly think so. And we're going to be on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. You can drop a blue heart in the comments. And if you want something to relax with a little bit, I had a great interview with Wes Moore. It's a lot of fun. A lot more chill than what's going on right now. Keep on fighting. We will not let them silence us. I promise you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.